Hello friends, it's Mr. Williams, and we're going to do this last problem that we have on this performance assessment before you guys take your unit test tomorrow. The fourth graders, it's the same kind of questions that we've been going along with last couple days. The fourth graders have been collecting rocks all year that will be suitable for making rock crafts. That's a tongue twister. The fourth graders have been collecting rocks all year that will be suitable for making rock crafts. Their collection now contains 2,158 rocks. They plan to divide the rocks evenly between 9 boxes to transport to the county fair. It's asking us A, to use our division strategies and the standard division algorithm to determine the number of rocks that should be packed in each box. So we have learned multiple strategies for doing division. My expectation at this point is that you're going to use a strategy that works best for you. When we think about the different strategies that we have that we can use, some for dividing, a couple come to mind. One's you have the standard algorithm, you have the partial products algorithm, which we've practiced multiple times. You can use visual diagrams such as strip diagrams, bar diagrams, arrays. We've briefly touched on an area model diagram. There's no one right way to do division. It's really about understanding what the question's asking you and having different tools in your toolbox where you can solve these problems. So just because I use a certain strategy doesn't mean you have to, okay? Unless it asks you specifically to do it a certain way, try to solve the problem in any way that works best for you. So let's do this. Use division strategies and the standard algorithm, division algorithm, to determine the number of rocks that should be packed in each box. What do we know? Well, we know that there are 2,158 rocks. And we know that they're going to divide them evenly between 9 boxes. There's a lot of other information in this question. This goes to another one of our strategies when we're solving multi-step problems, is we need to figure out what information is important, what do we need, and what do we not need. What we really need to know for this question is how many total rocks there are. We need to know that they plan to put the rocks in evenly. This is dividing. We take a big number and it's sharing it equally among different groups. That's essentially what dividing is. Taking a group of things or a number of things and sharing them as evenly as possible between people, boxes. It doesn't matter. There's a million different ways that you could do division problems. So we got to figure out how many rocks will fit in each box. We have 9 boxes and we have 2,158 rocks. Looks like a big problem here. So we're going to just go through all of our strategies that we have for this kind of problem. First thing we're going to do is estimate. I want you to take a moment and figure out how you can estimate to get a decent idea of where your answer should lie. Pause the video and spend a couple of minutes estimating where your answer might be for this problem. Okay, very good. Here's what I'm going to do. There could have been multiple strategies for estimating. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to do a lower and an upper limit to where I think the answer to this problem might lie. Well, I'm looking at 9, I've got a 9, and I'm looking at 2,158, and I'm thinking about how many times 9 possibly could go into 2,000. divided by 9. Okay, equals. I also could start, I know, if I'm using my number sense, and I know my multiplication division tables, I know that 9 will go into 18 evenly 2 times. Okay. I also know, because of place value, that I can add zeros onto the end of this too, and estimate that 9 will go into 1,1800 about 200 times. Okay, well, we need to figure out how many times it will go into 2,158. Let's do an upper limit to this. We know that 9 times 2 is 18. What is 9 times 3? Well, 9 times 3 is 2,000, will be 27, or 2,700. So now it'll go into 2,700 3 times. And I'm going to add the zeros. So 9 will go into 27 3 times. We can add the zeros, 300. So we're going to be looking at something between 300 and 200 for our answer to this problem. Given that 2,158 is much closer to 1,800 than it is to 2,700, I'm guessing my answer is going to be closer to 200 than 300. So I'm going to be looking at something in the neighborhood above 200 as my answer. Well, let's do the problem and see if that is true. I'm going to erase all this. I know that I just spent time doing it, but we don't have a lot of room here. So we're going to say our estimate is and this is a little sign for about, is about 200. Okay, so we know that 9 will go into, will not go into 2. So we're going to start all the way at the left-hand side. We're using, for this problem, we're using the standard algorithm. We know that 9 won't go into 2, but 9 will go into 21 2 times. And actually, I'm going to do some colors here so we can see things a little bit better. We know that 9 will go into 21 2 times. 2 times 9 is 18. We're going to subtract 18 from 21, or we're going to subtract 18 hundreds from 21 hundreds, and that will leave us with 3 hundreds. You don't know how I did that. I borrowed from 1,000 and brought that over. 11 hundreds minus 8 is 3. Okay, we do that. We have to bring down our 5 right here. Now, we have to think about this. How many times will 9 go into 35? Again, we have to be thinking about multiples of 9. 9 times 1 is 9. 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 3 is, so we got 9, 18. 9 times 3 is 27. And 9 times 4 is 36. I need to see how many times will 9 go into 35. Well, it won't go 6 times. Or it won't go 4 times, because 9 times 4 is 36. So we're going to have to put, and I'm going to do a different color here, we're going to have to put a 3 above the 5 here. And 3 times 9, we're going to subtract 27. Okay, so let's just do our algorithm. 15 minus 7 is 8. And 2 minus 2 is 0. So we are left with 8. So now we come to an interesting dilemma here. We have to bring down. We're left with 8, but we still have an 8 to bring down. So now we got to see how many times will 9 go into 88. Well, again, let's continue with our multiples of 9. 9 times 4 is 36. We've got that. 9 times 5 is 45. And guys, we're just going up by 9 each time here. So if you don't, even if you're struggling with your multiplication facts, we're just going up by 9 here. So 9 times 5 is 45. 9 times 6 is 54. 9 times 7 is 63. 9 times 8 is 72. 9 times 9 is 81. And 9 times 10 is 90. Okay, so we know that a 9 will not go into 88 10 times because that's 90. So we have to go, it will go 9 times. And actually, I should have done that a different color. I'm going to change this to, let's do something else bright. Let's do orange. 9 will go into 88 9 times. 9 times 9 is 81. And again, we subtract. 8 minus 1 is 7. We're left with 7. Okay. So we have to figure out how many rocks will fit into each box. We're left with a 7. 9 cannot go into 7. So what do we do with that 7? I want you to pause the video, turn to your neighbor, and I want you to figure out, one, how many rocks will go in each box? And then I want you to answer this question. Will all of the rocks fit into the 9 boxes evenly? Why or why not? I'm going to give you a few minutes to work through this. Okay. Well, you should have talked about this with your elbow partner and kind of worked through this. You should have come up with the answer to this problem is 239. You can fit 239 rocks in each box evenly. Will all of the rocks fit into the 9 boxes evenly? Explain why or why not. Well, you should see here that we have 7 remaining. The key here is that they have to fit evenly. I can't distribute those remaining 7 rocks evenly among 9 boxes because I only have 7. The only way you could do something like that is if you started breaking the rocks apart to where they would, but we're not doing that. The question doesn't ask us to do that. It simply says, will they all fit in there evenly? And they won't. We have 7 remaining. This is your remainder. We cannot distribute those 7 rocks evenly among the 9 boxes. So no, they will not. Because, and you could just say something like this, because 7 rocks will not fit evenly into 9 boxes. Thank you guys very much. Hope you have a good day.